Hey YouTube and Reddit, Senator32 here again with another coin grading challenge video. You guys know how this goes by this point. Let's go ahead and jump right in and see what PCGS Coinfacts coins are available today to look at. Alright, well the first coin is a Lincoln cent from 1934, minted in Denver. A really nice example, obviously mint state, very red, original red. There's not a lot of brown in here at all. If it has a designation, I mean, sometimes they put the red designation on it, sometimes they don't. I would say this is definitely a red coin, none of the actual grade. I mean, it's very, very well struck. There's not any detracting marks at all, really. Little hit here on the back, a little hit here. So I don't think it's like a superb gem, but I do think it's at least a gem, and I think it might even be better with the red. Uh, let's let's say 60, 66 red would be my guess. What do you guys think? All right, well, let's remove the bottom bar and see. Okay, 66 plus red. All right, well, we're off to a good start. That makes a lot of sense. That's a beautiful, beautiful old wheat penny. All right, next one over. All right, Jefferson nickel. And I am not particularly great at grading Jefferson nickels, but we'll give it a try. Very good example. I mean, this is, there's no marks that I can see really. There's a little mark here. Very clean. I know full steps is a big thing, and this would definitely be a full steps example if they have that marked, because I mean, you see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, full, good strike on the back. Front looks okay. A little mark there. I mean, it's a fairly modern coin, 1941. So I mean, you assume it's very high grade. It's at least a. If you're sending a Jefferson nickel for grading, it's at least a gem. Probably a superb gem. Um, yeah, that's well with that mark there, maybe not. Let's just say 66 full steps. Here we go, bottom bar. 67 plus full steps. Wow. Well, it does look very lustrous. This is probably really nice in hand. Again, not the best at grading Jefferson nickels. All right, next. Oh, we got another Lincoln and a modern one at that. Huh. I wonder why you'd grade this. I wonder if there's a. Looks a little mushy in here. Maybe it's a struck through grease error or something. Well, not really. Yeah, I mean, it's kind of mushy. Could be something like that. I mean, other than that, it's a really high-end coin, I suppose. Uh, Very red. So let's start there. It's mint red, of course. No brown at all. In order to be mint red, by the way, in case you guys don't know, I think it has to be at least 95% original mint red. So there's not a lot of brown here at all. A little bit here, starting some toning starting. Um, well, um, let's just stick with superb gem red. I mean, it's a modern coin. I'm sure that there's a lot of them in high grade. Here we go. Okay, 66 plus red, so we're right on the money. Huh. I have to look up that cert and see what there is. Maybe you guys know why someone would get that graded. I guess that's a high grade. It's just to me, it's a very modern coin. Let's see. Oh wow. So we got a lot of Lincoln cents and Jefferson nickels today. It looks like. Um, First things first. Let's look if it's full steps or not. There's kind of a hit, a mark right there, right in the steps, which I would imagine is fairly detracting for the grade. One. Looks like it's full steps though. I mean, it's a full strike. I actually think the strike is better than the one we just looked at a bit ago. It's 1990. I mean, it's a very modern coin. Um, the only thing that bugs me, I mean, it looks like there's a little more chatter in this. Maybe that is proof like, and that's kind of neat. I don't think it's not a proof. Would see a lot more cameo contrast. I'm gonna have to say 66 as the scratch here in the back and some of the kind of general scratchiness here in the front obverse fields. Full steps though, I would say. Let's see. 67 full steps. Okay, so we're close on the Jefferson nickels. Um, to me, when you have a prime scratch in the prime focal area, and sometimes I think I'm a little harsh on that. Um, but again, it's probably a very small scratch in hand considering this is a nickel. Alright, let's move right on. Oh, another nickel. Oh, this one's nicely toned, though. I really like this. Already, this one has eye appeal. Some spots on the front, which I'm not a huge fan of, but some rainbow toning kind of around the edges, I think makes up for the fact those spots exist. The front is very clean. The back, again, it looks like we've got a full steps here. So there's another really nice 1940D Jefferson nickel. I can't. The rest of them have been 67s. Let's say this one's 67 full steps. I like the give it like a star because the toning is probably really nice and original in this one. All right, let's look. All right, 67 plus. All right, yeah, I think it gets a little plus because of the color. Huh. All right. Well, we're not doing too bad, considering how bad I am at grading Jeffersons. I'm doing all right. Oh wow. Okay. I like vintage old Lincoln wheat cents. Some of the earlier wheat cents I think look really nice if you can find them in really high grade, which is what we're looking at here. Here's an example of I personally, we might see this one's graded red, but I would grade this one red brown. The front looks, like 90% there, and the back looks like 70% there. And so, I mean, really, it's nowhere near the 95. You only have about 5% browning. So 1920S, really well struck, very clean fields. Mark here immediately catches my eye. Mark here immediately catches my eye. But very clean other than that, very minimal marks. I'm just going to say Gem, RB, red brown. Um, yeah, I see no reason, but I think these other marks kind of hold it out of at a higher grade. There's also one right here. It's hard to see. Someone did mention trying to find a magnifier, and I will look and see in some of the future videos at magnifiers to try to help you guys see these images even better. Okay, let's say 65 red brown. Oh snap! All right, man. I'm nailing these today. I'm feeling good about the Lincoln cents. Okay about the Jefferson nickels, better than I normally do. Oh well, I get an opportunity to see if my luck continues. Right off the bat, I don't like this one nearly as much. If you look here at the back of Monticello and the roof, there's three very large scratches here, here, and here. Uh, Plus, it looks very mushy in here, and the steps look. Some of them are defined, but down here it looks very, very mushy. I would not say this is full steps, and I think getting that many hits right in the center that deeply, I think immediately takes it out of gem for me. Um, I mean, the obverse looks pretty good though. Um, Still though, I think that's it. 64 is what I would grade it. It's 1951, plain, not full steps. 64. All right, bottom bar. Oh, well, it was bound to discontinue my luck with the Jeffersons. So they have 66 plus full steps. Wow. I mean, they know more than I do, and again, I'm not good at grading Jefferson nickels, but to me, these scratches and the kind of the really weakness here. I mean, maybe I could be convinced in the full steps is there, but the fact that those scratches exist that deeply, and even on the obverse, there's a couple little light hits. I mean, oh well. I guess I just didn't think that was gem, especially for a common date Jefferson nickel, where there's very high grade versions. Huh. Oh, all right. Well, okay, something different. We got a Roosevelt dime, 1955D, with some lovely. So there's like a splash of rainbow color on the front. You got the reds, the greens, yellows, oranges. It's nice. I mean, it's not the most beautiful I've seen. So if it had this continued all the way around, I think it would get some extra props. Other than that, let's see. Again, fairly modern coin, so we're thinking high grade already. Nice uncirculated luster with again good album toning or good old obverse toning. Now you can see on the back too where it would be if you flip the coin over. The toning extends on the back too, so you can see this was in an album or something like that caused its toning right here on the edges. The front just got a little more air. Looking at it, there's problems here in the back. It looks like there's almost like rub, but I don't think it's rub. I think this is just dye polish or something. Maybe some slight bag marks. So I'm thinking the front is very clean. The color's really nice. It's fairly clean all over, but the bag marks there again knock it down a little bit to me. I think it's still a gem. So I'd say 65, maybe plus, 65 plus because of the color. All right, let's see what it is. Wow. Oh, full bands. I guess I forgot to even check for full bands. I always forget about that on Roosevelt dimes. And 67 plus. So they have a whole 2 points. They plussed it because of the color. So we're seeing a trend, I think, on that. Um, but a whole 2 points ahead. I guess this is mint error. This must be mint made. If that was not, if you look, if that not bad in hand, and if that is mint made, then I can understand that grade. These striations you might see in the fields again are dye polish lines. So when they're polishing the die, if you get a really nice high grade coin, sometimes you can see that, especially in proof like examples, things like Morgan dollars. Okay, moving right along. Oh, here we go. They want to test me. Walking Liberties. I'm very bad at grading these, as you guys have seen in the other episodes. All right, well, let's start the basics. First of all, mint state example. Very mint state would be my initial thought. I'm struck immediately that this is actually a really nice walker. It's super clean. It's super bright as well. The reverse is amazing. The only notable mark I can see here, but that's, I mean, we're talking like superb gem territory here. Look at the front. It's just super shiny. Not even the sun has like it has a little bag scraping there. But here's the part that's always the hardest. With Walking Liberties on the obverse, the high pointed design is right in the center. And you can see, if you look right here, that there's definitely a mark or two that kind of hit along there. But other than that, the strike is amazing. Like, it almost looks three-dimensional up here, which again, so many of these are just so flatly worn, or they're just not struck well, especially for an early date, 1917. I'm thinking this is a 67. This is a really nice coin. The only thing holding it back are these marks here. Otherwise, it'd be like a Wundercoin status, up in the 68, 69. This is an incredible coin. Um, yeah, I'm gonna stick with 67. That's beautiful. Okay, 66 plus. All right, so they probably knocked it a little more for these marks here or something else that I'm not seeing. But man, that looks like I'd love to see that one in hand. I bet that's a gorgeous walker. And I'm not one to usually be swooned by walking liberties. All right, let's move on. All right, another 1955 Roosevelt dime. This one from Philadelphia. Again, let's go back to our other assumptions, and we won't stick too much on this. I did not check bands last time. This one does look to be a full bands because it's completely, yeah, complete separation in these bands here. So let's say start with that. It's full band. A lot of marks here that look like marks, but again, those are dye polish marks, so we know it's a fairly high grade coin. Um, Nothing really on average. A couple spots here and there, so it's not perfect. Weirdness around the date there. I wonder if that's like a cut or if that's how all of them are. That's interesting. I'm not an expert in the series. Again, modern coin. All right, let's just say 67 full bands. That's my default grade on these moderns. If I can't figure it out, here we go. Yeah, there we go. Oh, yep. Hey, right on the money. Right on the money. So when all else fails with moderns, if you see a couple spots and they're not perfect, MS67. That's probably a bad way to go about it, but it seems like it's working. Okay. Another coin that I'm not sure exactly why. Personally, I don't know why you grade, but I guess it's just it's a super high grade example. And it's not a proof, this is a mint state example. 93 mint in Denver. Incredible detail on the back. I mean, this is like, you can tell they upped their striking quality in the 90s. I mean, this is a near perfect coin. Yeah, I mean, the little marks there. I think this is better than a 67. This is one of the few cases, like, I think this is 68. and then of course full red. It's a modern coin, but I don't think it's quite 69. You see some looks like some marks over here or something. Um, yeah, I'm not sure what's going on there. I think a little chatter here. So yeah, I'm happy with that. 68. I mean, wow, look how well it struck. It's incredible for a business strike. Yep, 68 plus red. I mean, it's incredible. That's a really nice Lincoln cent. Again, very modern one. I guess if you're putting together a registry set of really nice Lincoln cents, that would be the one you want to get. Oh man, we're getting a lot of Jeffersons and wheat cents and Lincoln cents and all sorts of things today. 1946 S. Jefferson nickel. Immediately, the eye appeal's good. I like the toning kind of around the outside, the darkish slash purple toning. Um, Looking at the steps, yeah, I would say definitely full steps. I mean, it seems to be continuous. Big mark here above Monticello, but we've seen in the past they haven't really counted too harshly against that. We haven't seen the, I think, superb gems that had marks like that. But we've seen definitely high-end gems, 65, 66s. Um, Another mark there. Some kind of chaff here in the back of Jefferson, and a couple little marks on the head and here. So I'm thinking this. Personally, I think it's a 65. I don't think it goes much higher than that because there's some obvious marks in obvious places. Uh, but it has nice toning, and we've seen them give plus grades out for toning a lot. So let's say 65 plus. Full steps. Bar. Oh, well, 66 plus. Okay, so it's still within the range of what we've been seeing, but again, I guess these marks just aren't that bad in hand. I have to keep in mind these are small coins we've been looking at today, blown up, very large. Okay, moving right along, man, another 93D? Wow, okay, not what I expected. Hopefully we get some variety coming up here. We'll go through fast, because again, I'm not great. I mean, the other one was what, 68 red? Let's say this is the same. It looks a little worse. There's definite mark there, definitely mark there. How about 67 red on this one? Black bar. Oh, 68 plus. So again, same grade or higher than the last one, even though this one seems to have marks. Weird. And again, moderns aren't necessarily my thing. I'm not good at them. But here we go. Wow, a 92D. All right, well, we're gonna get better at it apparently. I'm initially thinking, personally, this is a better coin. A little bit of a copper spot here. It's not distracting. No marks like there were in the last one. If the last one was 68 plus, I mean, I don't think this is a 69 because I'm not sure that there are any graded 69s. I have to look, or 70s for 90s wheat cent or 90s Lincoln cents. So let's same grade as the last one, maybe. 68 red. 68 plus red. Oh, the last one was 68 plus red too. Okay, so this person has a series of 68 plus reds. All right, let's get something else. Oh, another Jefferson. This one is the worst looking Jefferson we've seen today. So all of them have been 66 pluses and 67 pluses. So this one's got to be lower. I mean, I say that because immediately the strike looks more mushy up here. A lot of die polish lines though, so it may be a higher grade. Um, it looks like most of the steps are there, so I'd still say it's full steps. It's just the front looked kind of mushy when I was looking at it initially. I guess there aren't a lot of spots. Let's say still though, hmm, really there aren't a lot of spots at all. Maybe this is just a weakly struck year. 1941 San Francisco. Um, well, let's go 65 full steps. Okay, remove black bar. 66 full steps. 66 plus, excuse me. Again, I'm not the best at grading the Jeffersons, and sadly, it's not what we've had today. Oh, here we go. Okay, now we're doing some classic coins that are, to me, a little more interesting, and again, something we don't see all the time. A $10 1903 gold piece, an eagle. initially, first, I always like to do the first impression on these sort of nice old coins. What's the first impression you get? First thing I get is, wow, this is an original, really nice coin. And some of the things that I look at are, if you look on the obverse, notice how there's a little bit of coloration difference. This is old gold tones this way. You get a little bit of spotting, but luckily it's not very bad. It's not like big old black copper spots. But you just get a little bit of coloration. So when you're swirling this, and it has luster, which this will, because this is a mint state example, you can tell it's all struck up. I always look in the beads in her hair are all there. Hairlines are there. All the stars are split really nicely. You gotta remember, gold's a soft metal, so when they struck it, it usually struck pretty well. Most of these, especially these late date eagles, the back fully defined. You get the same sort of coloration. Shows you it's very original. Mainly means it hasn't been dipped or played with. Um, so, how do we come to a grade on this? Well, first of all, I'd say this is a very high grade. Is it gem or not? I guess is the question. It's unquestionably uncirculated. I think it is gem. First of all, there's no major marks in the fields. If you kind of scan the fields, okay, there's a little bit here, not bad. And you gotta remember, gold's really small, soft metal, and they threw all these in big bags, like of sometimes hundreds or thousands of them, and to transport. So they would always get dinged up. So I mean, this is a really nice example. Very clean on the obverse, everywhere. I mean, a little mark here, but I don't think that's enough to hold it out of gem. I think this is a solid MS65. Would be higher if it wasn't for this. I think it would be an MS66 looking at MS67, but right on the cheek. It's right in the central focus. I think that knocks it down a little bit. But I'm betting, from the look of this picture, I'm betting the luster's great. Just the look of it's great. So I think it's MS65 gets the gem status. But with the stuff on the wing and the back and the obverse, I think that's about as far as it goes. All right, let's take a look. 65 plus. So they liked it a little more than me. And they probably gave it a plus for the originality. It's just super, super original. All right, black bar. Here we go. Next, Lincoln variety then. All right, well, we're back to Walkers. Hey, at least it's not a Lincoln Memorial cent. Am I right? Okay. So, 1921D. Memory serves, it's a slightly better date. Um, bright mint state example. Really well struck. Again, I always look at the sun here. It's very clean. A couple little marks there. Well struck Liberty. High point examination shows that it could be more well struck. Like the one we looked at earlier was more well struck. You could tell, especially around the hand and around Liberty's head. But there's not as many marks here. And the back is really, really nice. I think the last one we looked at was like 67 plus coin. I don't think this is that nice overall because it's kind of got dusky toning. And I don't know. It's in the same ballpark. But the two little marks in the sun, the other one didn't have those. And I think the other one was better struck. But I think this is a solid gem. But to 65, if it was struck better, I'd say it'd be a 66. Let's see. 65 plus. Hey, anytime I can get within a point or two of walking liberties, I am a-okay. Because again, I'm not an expert in this, but hopefully you guys are watching along and looking at your own things. So feel free to pause the videos, at any point and try to guess what the grade is yourself. We can hopefully all learn together. Well, we have another example. Here's another walker. Immediately, first thing that comes to mind is this one's more interesting color-wise. I mean, on the back, you go from kind of a silverish gunmetal blue up to kind of red at the top. It gives it a little bit of character. 1921 Philadelphia. The front's very clean. Horribly struck, though. Look at how bad struck. I mean, I don't know how much that counts off in this particular series. Also, what's going on within God We Trust here in the motto? That almost looks like a double die or something like that. Again, I'm not an expert in the series. It looks like some funky stuff going on there. And a hit here on the back of the eagle. I'm gonna say let's just go MS 65. And the only reason is there's no major detracting marks. Again, to me, if the strike was better, this would be an amazing coin. But again, there might be some sort of mint error issue going on because that In God We Trust looks really doubled or weird in this picture. Let's see what we got. MS65 plus. Hey, that's nice. Again, I like the back. I think the whole coin I think has a little more character than most. You get kind of tired of white blast. Wow, isn't that a pretty coin? Wow. Again, that's my rule of thumb of how to know when I should buy a coin or not is when I have that reaction. I mean, that is a gorgeous $20 Liberty Head gold piece, 1906. Um, Unquestionably mint state, unquestionably gem. Uh, and it's really hard to find, by the way. I mean, you can find St. Gaudens, the next series, in $20 gold pieces in gem, which is MS65, fairly easy. You can go with 1908 No Motto. There's a lot of those due to a Wells Fargo hoard where a whole bunch of them were released. I think the average grade was MS66 or something like that. It's crazy with that hoard. It was just sitting in a bank vault since 1908. Also, later dates like 1924 are fairly common in high grades of 65, but the Liberty Head are not. And specifically, I mean, you can find some like 1904 you can find in 65, but even then they're multiples of their value, and they're already an ounce of gold. So it's an expensive coin, regardless if you're trying to get a gem Liberty Head eagle, double eagle, excuse me. So this is a beautiful coin. Initially, what strikes me, other than it just being impeccably clean, there's no marks. And again, it's another example of they threw these in big 250 some odd count bags and threw them in the back of automobiles or even the back of horse-drawn wagons in some cases and ferried these. So they're banging against each other, constantly getting scratched up. So the fact that one survived like this is amazing. One major detracting mark in the front, but pretty much no marks other than that on the whole coin. An incredible strike, an incredibly clean cheek, a little bit of stuff there, and a little bit here. I mean, and the back is incredible. And you can see that same sort of coloration that comes through it. It's a very original, never been dipped, very bright, super lustrous. I love the eagle reverse. This is one of my favorite designs for reverse of any coin the United States has ever made. Wow, I can't gush about this coin enough. I think it is better than a gem. I think the only thing that doesn't make this like a superb gem is because of the one mark right in the field, right here. And maybe these. Either way, I think this is MS65 plus. That's you know what? Yeah, MS65 plus. I was gonna go MS66, but I just don't that to me. If I bought an MS66 coin, that hit might be a little too much. Still, doesn't matter. Gorgeous coin. Anybody would love having this in their collection. It's incredible. Okay, MS66. So they did not think this is bad, and I can kind of understand that. This coin, I have a feeling, would just be awesome in hand. Wow. So if you get a chance, if you're at a coin show to see a high grade double eagle up close, ask to see it from a dealer. Take a look at it under the light, spin it. It's incredible. They are absolutely beautiful coins at high grade, but just incredibly uncommon. Weird. Okay. Weird. Um, so the reason I'm saying weird is obviously this is a $quarter from 1875, seated $quarter. It is obviously a proof, as you can see, that the rims here are completely squared off, all the dentals completely squared off, super strike and mirrored surfaces, but this is not silver, or doesn't look like it. That or it's incredibly toned silver. No, no way. This is weird. You know, it's made out of it looks like copper. This must be a pattern. I do not collect patterns, but I know Many different patterns exist now. These patterns are super rare in almost any form. They did not make a lot of test pieces. Patterns are basically test pieces the government tries to make. I'm gonna say this is a $quarter struck in copper, 1875. Interesting. That's almost got to be what it is. I mean, if this is a silver coin, I don't even know how I got that. No, it can't be. It can't be with this color. It has to be copper. So we're gonna go with it's a proof. A proof. I don't even know how to grade this coin, to be honest with you. It's got spotting and everything, but again, I'm not entirely sure what material. I guess it's a copper $quarter proof. MS or excuse me, proof 64. Let's try that. Cameo maybe. It's got a lot of cameo contrast. Okay, well we're right. 65 red. Okay, red. I didn't even think about giving it the copper color designation. Um, wow, now that's a cool coin. That's a coin that we don't get to see very often. Um, wow, I did not even. I'm not very familiar with patterns, so this is the first time I've ran across a copper proof Liberty Sheet Quarter pattern. So that's very neat. This is why we do this, because it's interesting to see these sorts of things that we just don't see normally. I bet you if you look this up, it says it's PCGS number 81723. I'm not going to look it up here live, but I'm betting you there are very, very few of these made. Probably less than 100. Probably less than 50. So very rare. Moving right along. Okay, hey, it's our first Washington quarter of today, and we get a modern one. Very odd. A lot of modern coins in this submission, or in these images. So 1985, made in Denver. You know, well struck, but not perfect coin. Seeing some couple marks here and there, but nothing heavy. Definitely mint state. Again, it's a 1985 coin. I'm assuming there's lots of high grade coins. You can see it seems I can never judge the strike on these Washington quarters, especially after you've seen a Washington quarter proof where you can see all the eagle feathers here. But again, I'm assuming it's a very high grade. There's nothing abysmal about it. So let's stick with our old standard of MS67 for modern coins that we're unsure of. Yeah, and it holds true. All right, we're our crazy rules holding. A nice coin though. Oh wow. Okay. Well, we get the 85p now. Very similar thing. Incredibly well struck. Very bright. Some marks, but not. There's marks in the obverse. There's nothing incredible. Let's stick with the same rule. I'm sorry I'm going fast, but these are kind of modern coins. Kind of bore me sometimes. Um, Same as 67. Bam. I really hope they don't grade this way too. They probably know. I'm just getting lucky. Oh man. Okay. Wow. Okay. 84D. This has been a whole bunch of moderns this particular episode. I think we're nearing the end too. So again, very clean. Wow. All right. You know what? I'm gonna break my rule this time because this one, while it does have a mark or two, looks better than the other ones, especially in the front obverse field. Very clean. Even got a little color to it, not a lot for clad. It's good though. I'm gonna say this is a 68, and it's a 67. So maybe I shouldn't have broke the rule. Okay, maybe we get something interesting now. Let's see next coin. Well, all right. Another Washington quarter. See, and here's an example. Look at the back here on the eagle. Incredibly well struck. The strike on this is amazing. Versus the other ones, which were very not amazing. And this is still a mint state example. I mean, there are a couple little things. I'm going to break my rule again, especially with the strike being as awesome as that is on the back. Because this is the nicest one we've seen today, looking at all of them. I mean, personally, I buy this one over the others. Let's say 68. One of these is going to be 68. Here we go. It's a 67. Wow. Well, I'll tell you again, put these up next to each other. I think this one looks better than the others, but maybe it's a year by year, mint by mint thing. Huh. Okay, well, let's put the black bar back up. Move right along. Oh, here we go. That's an interesting coin. Um, okay, so we got an 1873 2-cent piece. It's a proof. Almost certainly hard to tell on the front here, as the rim doesn't really show well in this picture. Here it looks right, all squared off. The big difference you see is the reflectivity, like the contrast of the fields. This just looks like an old proof. It's not a red proof. There's too much color and kind of dark toning. I actually really like it. I think it's beautiful, especially some of the rainbows around the edges. So it's red and brown proof. Um, no marks really, and these are fairly. Most of these proofs stayed in pretty high grade. Very clean. I think it gets knocked a little bit for some splotchiness, especially over the two here, all this dirt and stuff. So I don't think we're talking superb gem territory or higher. I think you're talking gem, yeah, gem red brown. So I think MS 65, or excuse me, proof 65 red brown would be my guess. And here we go. Yeah, proof 66 red brown. So pretty close. Anytime we can get a point off from the professionals over at PCGS, I think we're doing all right. And that was the last coin. I appreciate you guys sitting through yet another rambling of me failing to grade coins properly. Today was a little bit of a weird mix. We had a lot of modern coins, a lot of modern wheat cents, excuse me, modern Lincoln cents, uh, Washington quarters. We did have that one very interesting proof pattern, though, which was interesting. That'll be one to look up. So thank you guys for joining the conversation. Make sure to go over to reddit.com/rcoins and join the conversation there. And I'll see you guys next time.